in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Tomas Edge!
Hey Tuberonis, this week I wanted to talk about road rage. We've all seen it, we've all been there, but it's been weighing on my mind lately because I feel that it is becoming progressively more common. It's a commonplace thing, an everyday occurrence. Every time I step out of the house and get in the car and get on the road, I am seeing road rage. And I thought about it, and maybe it has to do with the fact that I have not been in a city for a while. I was living in rural Virginia while finishing my degree, so the traffic was not as extreme out there. It was actually pretty, I'd say, mellow, and there wasn't much traffic. But since I've come back to the Cleveland area, and then of course being in Portland, which is a little bit more understandable because their traffic is pretty intense in the sense that it's there's a lot of traffic and a lot of traffic jams. But the Cleveland area, there is not much traffic, and the traffic to me personally, being, in many different areas within the United States, is great. I think Cleveland traffic is very mild, and there's not a reason to be freaking out on the road. But that brings me to the point that this has nothing to do with traffic, in my opinion. I feel that this has to do with people being angry in general or unhappy in their lives, and so they then get into their vehicles and take it out on another human being. They're finding a reason, or they're looking for a reason to express that anger. And so I wanted to point out a couple stories, and this was within one trip. I was driving to my grandma's, and I was on the highway, and there's this car that just goes zooming by in the fast lane, and I kind of get a little uneasy now when I see that, because you never know. I mean, they could just hit one person and cause a pile up, so I just try to be aware of stuff like that. But I kind of just let it roll off my shoulders and just, watch and just observe, and from the distance, hopefully in these situations. But the driver then swerved in and out of several cars and then cut off a truck at the exit ramp. But then I get off the ramp, and we're held up because there's a green light, and there's a black car to the left, and then the truck is in front of me to the right, and the driver in the black car gets out, and the driver in the truck gets out, and they start yelling like they're going to fight. And they're saying, they're like, come on, putting their hands up and stuff like that. But then they just get back in their cars. I was like, okay, just, that's not my shit. Let them be who they are. Just let that roll off and just, keep driving. So that was that. So then on the way home, when I was returning to get back to the highway, there was this car in front of me, and there was the advanced green for the light that I was at. But the car was stopped in the middle of the road, and so I was like, oh, maybe they just have a problem. Again, I'm trying to think, good about this. Well, as soon as the advanced green turns yellow, the car zooms off and then goes through the light. Well, I, made the light as well, too, because I'm like, I'm not going to miss this. And so I was like, okay, maybe they just couldn't get their car started up. Well, then we hit another light. This car then again stops. The light is green, and it turns, just as it's turning yellow, it zips off again, and because I thought maybe like it was stalling or something. And so, of course, I went through the yellow light. But I felt like a little frustrated because I was like, why do people play games like this? Why are they doing this to other people? Like, do they have that much unhappiness in their life? Are they really that angry, or just are they that, I don't know, do they get excited about doing that to somebody by hurting somebody else, or by making somebody else, or putting somebody else in a position where they're at a disadvantage, or where they may get frustrated? So that was interesting. But then as I got on the highway again, I was changing lanes on the ramp, and how as you look out your side to look for your blind spot, I was like, there's nothing there. Well, all of a sudden, I see a black car zooming by, but as I was changing lanes, a yellow car zipped by too, and I was like, whoa, because I had to like swerve back over. Those two cars were then chasing each other, and then they started zipping and swerving in and out of other cars. The black car then went this way, and the yellow one went the other lane, and they're just speeding off. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, this is just a little bit too much. I mean, Cleveland traffic, like I said, there's no reason to be this outraged, and that's where like I said, I want to point it back to that it just has to do with people being unhappy and finding a reason to express that anger. And in the car, just kind of like internet and stuff like that, it's very anonymous. Until they get out of their cars and are ready to fight, it's very anonymous. You could do whatever you want to. You could ride somebody's, ass in your car. You could, stop in front of them and zip off. I just find it a little concerning that people are in a place, they're that, I guess, unhappy in life that they're doing this on a regular basis. I mean, to see that within a 4 or 5 hour span, and I don't even get on the road that much anymore just because of my, my things I'm going through in life. But it just really concerns me, and it's actually making me pretty paranoid to get on the road because, my best friend showed me all these videos on YouTube where these crazy drivers cause pileups, and it just takes like 1 second, one little, one little, I don't know, one little wrong move or one little, someone not paying attention or somebody not able to stop in time. And it's really scary because I think the thing that's most scary is that these people that are doing this and they're so consumed with rage or their road rage or anger that they're not thinking about that they could hurt other people, and not even just directly the person they're angry at, but other people in the process, like innocent bystanders that are just driving the normal, speed limit or maybe even above it. My suggestion is that before you get into your vehicle, take a few deep breaths, or even while in your vehicle, take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. I already feel calm right now. I'm just so calm, So you could be a little bit more of a calm state and maybe let these kinds of things roll off your shoulders, because they're not as big of a thing as you think they are. I mean, just let them do that. Don't let it add to you, and don't make it a contagious effect, like I said before, with emotions being contagious. I'm to the point now where when I'm in the car, like I said, because I'm a little paranoid, where I'll have very calming music. I will be doing breathing sometimes just to relax myself, because it's easy to get caught up in those contagious emotions when somebody's really angry or doing something really, that's going to frustrate you or make you angry. And so I just try to focus on, what's going on with me and try not to get too caught up in everything else. I'm aware of things. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about that because it was concerning me. And if I could even just get across to a few people just to relax when they're in their vehicles and spread those positive, more calm emotions, that would be great, because the more that spreads, the less of this will be going on. And the more people that let those kinds of things roll off their shoulders or don't judge or just go, oh, well, maybe they were in a rush, maybe. You just never know, and I know there's always going to be people that are just not very nice and are going to be, purposely doing things to frustrate people and make them angry. But I think that the more that you're in a state that you could kind of repel that, then, or let it bounce off of you, then it will not spread. And I think those people that are in those angry states want to spread it. They want everyone to react to them and how they're reacting or how they're behaving. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great week, and until next time. I already feel calm right now. I'm just so calm,